Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a time where intelligence is often placed on a pedestal. It's celebrated, valued, and even revered as the key to success. The ability to process information quickly, to analyze data, to come up with solutions to complex problems, these are all traits that define intelligence. But I ask you today, what happens when intelligence is left unchecked? What happens when intelligence is not tempered by something far deeper, wisdom? You see, intelligence is not wisdom. They are related, yes, but they are not the same. Intelligence is the ability to acquire knowledge, to learn, to understand the workings of the world. But wisdom is the ability to apply that knowledge in a way that is both responsible and compassionate. Intelligence without wisdom then can easily lead to arrogance, a belief that knowing something makes us superior to others, that our understanding is the only understanding that matters. This is where danger begins. When intelligence is allowed to foster arrogance, the individual loses sight of the reality that there is always more to learn. Humility, true humility, is the hallmark of wisdom. A wise person understands that no matter how much they know, there is always something new to discover, always another perspective to consider. They listen, they reflect, and they remain open to the possibility that their knowledge may not be complete, that their understanding might be flawed. But arrogance, driven by unchecked intelligence, shuts down this process. Arrogance convinces us that we have all the answers, that we can solve any problem, and that our way is the only way. And in this space, growth stagnates. It becomes impossible to improve because we stop asking questions, we stop seeking guidance from others, and we stop learning from the experiences of those around us. This is not to say that intelligence is unimportant. Of course it is essential. But it is only through the application of wisdom that intelligence can truly benefit the individual and society at large. When intelligence is coupled with wisdom, it moves beyond simple problem solving and into the realm of thoughtful, ethical action. Wisdom understands that just because we can do something does not mean we should. It recognizes that decisions have consequences, often unforeseen consequences, and that the ability to foresee those consequences comes not only from knowledge but from experience and reflection. Consider the greatest thinkers and leaders throughout history. They were not only brilliant, they were also wise. They understood the limits of their knowledge and sought counsel from others. They didn't assume that their intelligence gave them the right to dictate every outcome. They recognized that true leadership lies in the ability to listen, to learn, and to act with humility. It is, in fact, arrogance that often leads people down the path of destructive decisions. Arrogance dismisses the wisdom of others, rejecting different perspectives in favor of a narrow, self-serving worldview. When someone becomes so absorbed in their own intelligence, they are less likely to ask the important questions, the ones that force us to examine our assumptions and confront our biases. It is this arrogance that leads to confirmation bias, where the individual seeks only information that reinforces their already held beliefs, rather than challenging themselves to look at things from a new angle. And this is where the absence of wisdom becomes most dangerous. For in the absence of wisdom, we act impulsively without a sense of the broader picture, and without consideration for the ripple effects our actions may cause. It is not enough to be right, we must also be right in a way that is fair, just, and good. Wisdom makes the connection between knowing something and using that knowledge for the benefit of others. Ultimately, wisdom is what enables us to lead others. Arrogant intelligence may command respect, but it is wisdom that inspires trust. Wisdom is what enables a true leader to act with integrity, to learn from their mistakes, and to guide others not just with knowledge, but with empathy, patience, and understanding. As we strive to improve ourselves and the world around us, let us remember that intelligence alone is not enough. Without wisdom, intelligence is a sword without a handle, a tool without direction. It's in wisdom that we find the true power of intelligence, the power to lead with humility, to act with conscience, and to grow continually in our understanding of the world. Intelligence and wisdom, though often used interchangeably in everyday conversation, are two fundamentally different concepts that have distinct roles in shaping our lives, actions, and decisions. Intelligence is often defined as the capacity to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. It involves cognitive abilities such as reasoning, problem solving, and abstract thinking. An intelligent person can quickly grasp complex ideas, analyze situations, and come up with solutions to challenges. In contrast, wisdom is not simply the accumulation of knowledge, but rather the ability to use that knowledge judiciously. It encompasses emotional depth, an understanding of human nature, and the capacity to make decisions that consider the long-term consequences, not just the immediate or logical outcomes. At its core, intelligence is a tool. It enables individuals to navigate the world by solving problems, making sense of complex systems, and creating innovations that propel societies forward. An intelligent person is often skilled in logical analysis, pattern recognition, and memory retention, making them proficient in academic, professional, or technical fields. These are all incredibly valuable qualities, and in many cases, intelligence is celebrated because it leads to tangible results, whether it's advancing technology, providing solutions to social issues, or excelling in one's career. In a world that values achievement, intelligence becomes the marker by which we measure success and ability. However, intelligence alone is not enough to guarantee good decision-making or ethical action. It's possible to be highly intelligent but lack the discernment to use that intelligence wisely. Wisdom, in this context, becomes the crucial element that bridges the gap between knowledge and responsible action. While intelligence allows us to process data and formulate theories, wisdom teaches us how to apply that knowledge with a sense of humility, caution, and responsibility. A person who is wise understands that intellectual knowledge is limited, and that it is always subject to change or reinterpretation as new information arises. Wisdom encourages the pursuit of not just right answers, but thoughtful questions that consider the broader implications, the human experience, and the complexity of life itself. Intelligence can lead to arrogance when it is perceived as the ultimate source of power and control. This is where the danger lies. When intelligence is valued above all else, it can lead to a distorted sense of superiority. Someone who is highly intelligent may begin to believe that their knowledge and intellect place them in a position of dominance, causing them to dismiss others' ideas, perspectives, or contributions. This type of arrogance not only isolates the individual from potential sources of learning, but it also blinds them to the limits of their own understanding. There are many areas of life where intelligence alone is insufficient, areas such as relationships, ethics, and emotional resilience, which require more than just cognitive processing. In these areas, wisdom becomes the guiding force. Consider, for example, a brilliant scientist who develops a groundbreaking technology. Without wisdom, this individual may fail to consider the broader consequences of their creation, how it might affect society, the environment, or future generations. Intelligence may bring about innovations, but it's wisdom that ensures those innovations are used ethically and for the greater good. Without wisdom, the benefits of intelligence can become a double-edged sword capable of creating as much harm as good. In this sense, wisdom isn't merely about knowing what to do, but about understanding when to act and when to withhold. It involves the balance of knowledge and emotional intelligence, humility and confidence. The wise person knows that they are a part of something larger, that their individual intelligence is only a small fragment of the greater whole. Intelligence without wisdom can lead to blind spots, a failure to see the full scope of any given situation. In contrast, wisdom enhances intelligence, guiding its application in a way that enriches not only the individual, but also those around them. It's this balance that allows people to navigate complex moral landscapes, build meaningful relationships, and make decisions that stand the test of time. Intelligence may open the door to understanding, but it is wisdom that ensures we enter it with respect, care, and discernment. When intelligence becomes the primary source of one's identity, it often leads to a dangerous form of intellectual hubris. Hubris, in this context, refers to excessive pride, arrogance, or self-confidence in one's abilities, particularly when it comes to one's intellectual prowess. It's the belief that because one possesses knowledge or understanding in a certain area, they must be superior to others, or at least above criticism. In this state, individuals begin to see their intelligence not just as a tool, but as the measure of their worth and value in the world. This type of arrogance can take many forms, from dismissing others' opinions to actively looking down upon those who are perceived as less knowledgeable. When intelligence becomes the cornerstone of one's identity, it can lead to an inflated sense of self-importance that blinds individuals to their own limitations. The danger of intellectual arrogance is that it shuts down the potential for growth and learning. The moment someone believes that they know it all, they cease to seek new information or challenge their own beliefs. The pursuit of knowledge is no longer a humble journey of exploration, but a rigid validation of one's pre-existing understanding. This is where intellectual arrogance can begin to hinder progress. When someone becomes too attached to their intelligence, they stop questioning their assumptions, dismissing new ideas, and failing to consider perspectives that don't fit neatly into their worldview. As a result, their knowledge stagnates and they become trapped within the confines of their own understanding. This intellectual rigidity can be particularly harmful in areas where complexity and nuance are essential. In fields like politics, medicine, and even personal relationships, being open to new information and adapting to changing circumstances is crucial. However, when someone's intelligence is paired with arrogance, they may become so certain in their understanding that they refuse to see the bigger picture. They may focus solely on what they already know, which in turn limits their ability to engage with new ideas or alternative viewpoints. In the process, they risk making decisions based on incomplete or outdated information, leading to misjudgments that could have been avoided with a more open and flexible mindset. Furthermore, intellectual arrogance often breeds a sense of isolation. People who place their intelligence above all else tend to distance themselves from others. They may feel as though they are surrounded by individuals who are not worthy of their time or attention because those individuals lack the same intellectual capabilities. This can lead to a lack of collaboration, a vital component of growth and innovation. The true learning happens not in isolation, but in community, through the exchange of ideas and perspectives. When someone is too arrogant to engage with others on an equal footing, they miss out on the valuable insights and experiences that could enrich their own understanding. At the heart of intellectual arrogance is a fundamental lack of self-awareness. The arrogant intellectual fails to recognize that knowledge is not absolute, nor is it the sole determinant of a person's worth. They may believe that their intelligence makes them infallible, but in reality they are just as susceptible to mistakes, biases, and blind spots as anyone else. This failure to recognize one's own fallibility is a significant flaw in the arrogant mindset. It prevents the individual from learning from their mistakes, seeking advice, or even considering the possibility that they might be wrong. In this way, intellectual arrogance becomes a self-imposed barrier to self-improvement, making it impossible to grow beyond one's current limitations. The pursuit of knowledge should never be about inflating one's sense of superiority or creating divisions between oneself and others. True intellectual humility recognizes that no matter how much we know, there is always more to learn. It involves an awareness of the limitations of our understanding and a willingness to engage with the world around us with curiosity and openness. Humility allows us to approach challenges not with the belief that we already have all the answers, but with a recognition that we must continue to evolve, adapt, and learn from others if we are to navigate the complexities of life. When intelligence becomes a source of arrogance, it closes off this potential for growth and limits one's ability to truly understand the world. Humility is a cornerstone of intellectual growth and emotional maturity, and it plays a crucial role in distinguishing intelligence from wisdom. While intelligence enables us to process and apply knowledge, humility is what keeps us grounded and open to further learning. It is the understanding that no matter how much we know, we do not have all the answers, and there is always room for improvement. In many ways, humility acts as the balance to intelligence, ensuring that it is used wisely rather than arrogantly. It is through humility that true wisdom emerges, as it allows us to approach the world and others with curiosity, respect, and a willingness to accept that our understanding may be limited or flawed. Intellectual humility requires the recognition of one's own limitations. It's about acknowledging that there is always more to learn, even in areas where we may already have expertise. The humble individual knows that no single person possesses all the knowledge in the world, and therefore they approach new information and experiences with an open mind. This doesn't mean that they lack confidence in their abilities, but rather that they understand the complexity of the world and the limits of their understanding. By recognizing these limits, they can remain receptive to new ideas, diverse perspectives, and constructive criticism. Without humility, intelligence can quickly turn into arrogance. When an individual is proud of their intellectual capabilities, they might begin to believe that they are superior to others, dismissing ideas that don't align with their own. This arrogance can create a barrier to personal growth because it closes off opportunities to learn from others, especially those who have different experiences and viewpoints. Humility, however, allows individuals to engage with people who may not share their knowledge or expertise but can still offer valuable insights. A humble person is more likely to listen, reflect, and incorporate the thoughts of others into their own understanding, enriching their knowledge in the process. Moreover, humility helps individuals recognize that wisdom comes from more than just intellectual knowledge. Wisdom is the ability to make decisions that consider not only facts and data but also the broader context and the human experience. It requires an awareness of the emotions, values, and complexities that shape our decisions. A wise person is not just someone who knows a lot, but someone who understands how to apply their knowledge in a way that is thoughtful, ethical, and compassionate. This is where humility plays a critical role. Humility encourages individuals to step back and consider the perspectives of others, to reflect on the moral and emotional dimensions of a situation, and to make decisions that are not only intellectually sound, but also just and empathetic. In the absence of humility, intelligence can become self-serving, used to justify one's own beliefs and actions without considering their broader impact. It can lead to decisions that are overly simplistic, cold, or even harmful because the individual is more concerned with proving their intellect than with understanding the human aspects of a situation. Humility, on the other hand, promotes empathy and emotional intelligence, both of which are essential for making wise decisions that take into account the feelings and needs of others. It encourages a more holistic view of life, where knowledge is balanced by compassion, and where intellectual pursuits are aligned with a desire to contribute positively to society. Humility also plays a significant role in how we learn from our mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, but it is humility that allows us to recognize them and grow from them. An arrogant individual may refuse to admit they were wrong, while a humble person is more likely to reflect on their actions, acknowledge their errors, and take steps to improve. This ability to learn from failure is a key component of wisdom. Wisdom doesn't come from always being right. It comes from the willingness to acknowledge when we are wrong, to learn from those moments, and to use that knowledge to make better choices in the future. Ultimately, humility is what allows intelligence to evolve into wisdom. It encourages individuals to stay curious, to embrace the complexity of the world, and to seek understanding beyond their own perspective. Without humility, intelligence becomes limited, rigid, and isolated. But when paired with humility, intelligence becomes a tool for growth, connection, and meaningful change. The disconnect between knowledge and action is one of the most significant challenges that arises when intelligence lacks the guidance of wisdom. Intelligence equips us with the ability to understand concepts, solve problems, and analyze situations, but it is wisdom that provides the necessary framework for applying that knowledge in a way that benefits ourselves and others. A person may have vast intellectual abilities, but if those abilities are not directed by sound judgment, they may end up making decisions that are not in their best interest, or the best interest of others. This disconnect between what we know and how we act often stems from a failure to consider the broader consequences of our decisions or the human aspects of a situation. One of the key differences between knowledge and action is that while knowledge can be acquired from books, lectures, and theories, action requires emotional intelligence, empathy, and situational awareness. Intelligence allows us to calculate, predict, and reason logically, but wisdom requires us to understand the deeper implications of our actions, including the feelings, needs, and values of others. A highly intelligent person may know the best course of action in a given situation, but without wisdom they may fail to account for the emotional or relational dynamics at play. This can result in decisions that may seem rational on the surface but fail to consider the broader picture, leading to unintended negative outcomes. For instance, consider a leader who is well-versed in economics, business strategy, and management. This leader may possess the intelligence to make decisions that maximize profits and minimize costs, but without the wisdom to understand the human side of these decisions, they may alienate employees, harm the community, or create long-term social or environmental consequences. The knowledge to make the right decision may be there, but the lack of wisdom leads to actions that fail to consider the full scope of the situation. Wisdom enables us to make decisions that not only achieve our goals, but do so in a way that is ethical, just and sustainable. The failure to bridge the gap between intelligence and action is often compounded by a lack of self-awareness. Someone who is highly intelligent may believe that their logical reasoning is sufficient for making decisions, neglecting the fact that their intellect may be clouded by biases, assumptions, or personal interests. Intelligence can sometimes lead to overconfidence, where a person may be so certain in their own understanding that they fail to see their own limitations. This overconfidence can result in impulsive decisions, driven more by the desire to act than by a thoughtful evaluation of the consequences. Wisdom, however, helps temper this impulsivity by encouraging individuals to pause, reflect, and consider a range of factors before taking action. The ability to make sound decisions in the face of uncertainty is another critical aspect of the disconnect between knowledge and action. Life is inherently uncertain, and many situations do not have clear-cut answers or definitive outcomes. In these moments, intelligence alone may not be enough. Wisdom allows us to navigate uncertainty with patience, humility, and discernment. A wise person does not make decisions based solely on data or intellect. Instead, they take the time to understand the situation in its entirety, consider the potential risks, and take into account the long-term implications of their actions. Moreover, wisdom is crucial when it comes to moral decision-making. Intelligence can help us understand the mechanics of a situation, but it is wisdom that guides us in determining the ethical course of action. For example, a highly intelligent person may understand the technical aspects of a particular policy or law, but it takes wisdom to assess whether that policy is fair, just, or beneficial to all involved. Intelligence without wisdom can lead to decisions that may be legally or technically correct but ethically questionable. Wisdom ensures that our actions align with our values, that we act with compassion, and that we take the well-being of others into account. Finally, the gap between knowledge and action can be seen in the failure to translate theoretical understanding into practical, real-world application. A person may be well-versed in the principles of leadership, for example, but without the wisdom to understand the complexities of human nature, they may struggle to inspire, motivate, and connect with others. Intelligence allows us to grasp abstract ideas, but wisdom enables us to bring those ideas into reality in a way that is both effective and compassionate. It is this ability to apply knowledge in a meaningful way, to act with integrity, and to understand the broader context of our decisions that separates mere intelligence from true wisdom. In the end, the disconnect between knowledge and action is a powerful reminder of why intelligence, though valuable, must always be paired with wisdom. Knowledge without wisdom can lead to rash decisions, unintended consequences, and moral missteps. Wisdom, on the other hand, ensures that our intelligence serves not only our own interests, but the interests of those around us, creating a foundation for decisions that are thoughtful, ethical, and aligned with our deeper values. Arrogance, often fueled by unchecked intelligence, can create a dangerous and isolating mindset that hinders growth, innovation, and collaboration. It is the belief that one's intellectual capabilities, often built on knowledge or experience, place them above others, and therefore their insights or opinions are the only ones that matter. This arrogance blinds individuals to the value of different perspectives and causes them to dismiss others' ideas without careful consideration. Instead of fostering an environment where diverse thoughts can thrive, arrogance creates a narrow, self-serving worldview that ultimately stifles both personal and collective progress. When intelligence is coupled with arrogance, it results in an unwillingness to entertain alternative viewpoints. A person who believes their understanding is superior is less likely to listen to others or engage in productive dialogue. The process of genuine learning comes from the exchange of ideas, the challenging of assumptions, and the willingness to be wrong. However, when arrogance takes hold, the individual feels compelled to defend their position at all costs, often without acknowledging the validity of other perspectives. This not only limits the scope of their learning, but also creates an environment in which collaboration becomes difficult or impossible. Moreover, arrogance can lead to a sense of intellectual superiority, which can have detrimental social effects. Those who are arrogant in their intelligence may look down on others, perceiving them as lesser or not worthy of their time. They might dismiss people who don't share the same level of expertise or knowledge, failing to see the richness of diverse experiences and backgrounds. In doing so, they not only isolate themselves, but also deprive themselves of valuable insights. Wisdom, on the other hand, involves the ability to recognize that all individuals bring something unique to the table, and that everyone, regardless of their intellectual background, has something valuable to contribute. By embracing this attitude, a person opens themselves up to growth and understanding, fostering connections that lead to meaningful collaboration. Arrogance can also lead to stagnation, as it limits the willingness to evolve. When a person is too invested in their own intelligence and understanding, they often become resistant to change, growth, and innovation. Whether in personal development, professional fields, or societal progress, require an openness to new ideas and approaches. Arrogance, by its very nature, closes off this potential for change. It leads individuals to believe that their current knowledge and way of thinking are sufficient, preventing them from seeking out new learning opportunities or adapting to emerging trends. This stagnation over time can result in missed opportunities and a failure to stay relevant in an ever-changing world. Additionally, arrogance can contribute to poor decision-making, as individuals who are overly confident in their intelligence may be less inclined to seek feedback, collaborate, or critically examine their own assumptions. In a world where complexity and nuance are prevalent in every facet of life, being able to consider a range of perspectives and weigh the potential consequences of decisions is vital. Arrogance, however, prevents this thoughtful examination by fostering the belief that one already has all the answers. As a result, decisions made in such a mindset may be impulsive, short-sighted, and ultimately counterproductive. Wisdom, by contrast, is rooted in an awareness of the limitations of one's own knowledge and an appreciation for the value of different perspectives and experiences. Arrogance is also often accompanied by a lack of self-reflection. A person who is arrogant in their intelligence may be less likely to examine their own behavior, decisions, or biases. Without the capacity for introspection, they are unable to learn from their mistakes or recognize areas where they may need to grow. This lack of self-awareness contributes to a vicious cycle of repeated errors and missed opportunities for improvement. Wisdom, on the other hand, involves an ongoing process of self-examination and a recognition that even the most intelligent among us have room for growth. The wise person understands that their knowledge is never complete and that they must continually strive to improve, both in their intellectual pursuits and in their personal development. At its core, arrogance fueled by intelligence can create a barrier to meaningful connection, growth, and effective action. It isolates individuals from the insights of others, stifles their ability to adapt, and leads them to make decisions that lack careful consideration. Wisdom, in contrast, encourages openness, self-reflection, and collaboration. It fosters an environment where diverse perspectives are valued and intellectual humility is celebrated. When intelligence is paired with wisdom, it leads to more thoughtful, ethical decisions and a greater capacity for meaningful, lasting change. The relationship between intelligence and wisdom is not merely a matter of accumulating knowledge versus practical application. It is also about recognizing the role of emotion, morality, and personal growth in decision-making. Intelligence, when not balanced by wisdom, can often lead to decisions that are overly focused on logic and facts without considering the emotional or moral dimensions of a situation. Wisdom, on the other hand, is deeply intertwined with empathy and understanding the human experience, which allows one to make choices that are not only intellectually sound but also compassionate and just. Emotional intelligence plays a vital role in ensuring that intelligence does not become detached from the complexities of human life. While intelligence enables us to analyze problems and devise solutions, it is wisdom that helps us navigate the emotional landscape that accompanies those decisions. For example, an individual who is highly intelligent might be able to devise a brilliant business strategy that maximizes profits, but without wisdom, they may fail to consider the impact this strategy has on the well-being of employees or the community. Wisdom provides the ability to weigh not just the financial or logistical outcomes of a decision, but also the emotional and human consequences, ensuring that actions are guided by empathy and concern for others. In relationships, this balance between intelligence and wisdom is essential. Intelligence can allow us to understand the dynamics of a relationship, recognize patterns in behavior, and even offer solutions to interpersonal conflicts. However, without the wisdom to understand and navigate the emotions involved, such solutions may be superficial or ineffective. Wisdom involves recognizing the depth of human emotions, the complexity of motivations, and the importance of fostering trust, respect, and understanding. It is about seeing beyond the intellectual surface and engaging with the heart of the issue. A wise person will approach relationships with empathy, humility, and a recognition that emotional intelligence is just as important, if not more so, than intellectual prowess. Furthermore, wisdom helps guide moral decision-making, which is another area where intelligence without wisdom can falter. Intelligence allows us to understand the mechanisms behind various systems, from economics to law to medicine. But wisdom helps us evaluate whether these systems align with our ethical principles and whether our actions within them reflect our values. A highly intelligent person may be able to manipulate systems to achieve certain goals, but it takes wisdom to ask whether those goals are just or aligned with a greater moral purpose. Wisdom encourages a broader perspective that considers the long-term effects of actions and the ethical implications of our decisions. This becomes particularly important in situations that involve conflict, power, or authority. An intelligent person might recognize a strategic opportunity to gain power or influence, but wisdom teaches the importance of fairness, justice, and the welfare of others. For instance, a leader who lacks wisdom may make decisions that are strategically beneficial in the short term, but ultimately undermine trust, cause harm, or erode relationships. While wisdom, on the other hand, ensures that the leader's actions are grounded in a sense of responsibility, integrity, and a long-term vision for the greater good. Moreover, wisdom encourages an ongoing process of self-reflection and growth. Intelligence can sometimes lead to complacency, where individuals believe that their knowledge is sufficient and that they no longer need to learn or adapt. Wisdom, however, is a continual journey of growth, one that recognizes that our understanding of the world is always evolving. It encourages us to question our assumptions, seek new perspectives, and remain humble in the face of the complexity and uncertainty of life. A wise person understands that their knowledge, no matter how vast, is always partial, and that there is always more to discover. Wisdom also helps to balance the intellectual pursuit of knowledge with the understanding that life is not just about mastering facts or solving problems. It involves embracing the ambiguity, contradictions, and uncertainties that are inherent in the human experience. The wise person recognizes that not everything can be solved through logic or intellect, and that some of life's challenges require patience, resilience, and an acceptance of the unknown. In this sense, wisdom brings a level of emotional maturity and understanding that goes beyond intellectual capabilities, allowing individuals to make decisions that are in harmony with both their intellectual knowledge and their emotional and moral compass. In sum, while intelligence provides the tools to understand and analyze the world, wisdom is what enables individuals to apply that knowledge in a way that is thoughtful, ethical, and compassionate. Wisdom ensures that intelligence is not used solely for personal gain or to dominate others, but rather to create positive change, build meaningful relationships, and navigate the complexities of life with humility, empathy, and respect for others. Intellectual arrogance can often lead individuals to overlook the importance of experience and intuition, two key components that contribute to a deeper understanding of life. While intelligence is valuable for acquiring knowledge and solving problems, it is experience and intuition that provide the contextual wisdom needed to apply that knowledge effectively. Experience offers insight into the nuances of the real-world insights that cannot be captured by logic or theory alone. Intuition, similarly, allows individuals to make judgments and decisions when faced with uncertainty or incomplete information, drawing on a deep-seated understanding that goes beyond mere facts and figures. When intelligence is coupled with arrogance, however, it often leads to the dismissal of these non-intellectual forms of knowing, which are essential for true wisdom. The over-reliance on intellectual knowledge, while ignoring the lessons that experience teaches, creates a limited and narrow worldview. A person who sees themselves as intellectually superior may believe that their abstract understanding is enough to navigate any situation, neglecting the practical wisdom gained through real-world experience. This detachment from lived experience can lead to misguided decisions that fail to account for the complexities and challenges that arise in the day-to-day world. For example, a highly intelligent person with little experience in leadership might make decisions based solely on theoretical models or data without taking into account the human dynamics or emotions involved. Their decision-making may be overly rigid, ignoring the subtle cues and flexibility that real-life situations require. In contrast, those who have gained experience through years of working in a particular field or engaging with a community are often better equipped to handle the unpredictable nature of life, even when they don't have all the facts at hand. Intuition, too, plays a critical role in bridging the gap between intellect and action. While intelligence can help us analyze and predict outcomes based on logic, intuition allows us to make snap judgments or decisions in situations where reasoning alone cannot provide clear answers. Intuition draws from our past experiences, our understanding of human nature, and our emotional intelligence, guiding us to make decisions that feel right, even when they cannot be immediately explained or justified. However, individuals who are arrogant in their intelligence may dismiss intuition as illogical or unreliable, preferring to rely only on data and rational thought. This dismissal can lead to a lack of balance in decision-making, as they fail to consider the gut feelings and instinctual understanding that often provide essential guidance in complex situations. Moreover, when intellectual arrogance blinds individuals to the value of experience and intuition, it can lead to poor interpersonal relationships. Wisdom is not just about knowing facts, it is about understanding people, navigating social dynamics, and responding to the needs of others in a compassionate and effective way. Experience and intuition play a significant role in these areas as they help us gauge others' emotions, recognize unspoken cues, and understand the underlying motivations behind people's actions. Someone who relies solely on their intellectual abilities may struggle to connect with others on a deeper level, failing to recognize the subtleties of human interactions or dismissing emotional responses as irrelevant. In contrast, those who value experience and intuition are often better equipped to build trust, communicate effectively, and form genuine connections with others, even in challenging or unfamiliar situations. In areas such as leadership, parenting, or counseling, the ability to empathize with others, understand their needs, and provide guidance is often rooted in the wisdom gained through experience and intuition. An intelligent person might understand the theory behind what makes an effective leader or a good parent, but it is through experience that they learn how to deal with the real-world challenges and emotional complexities that arise. For example, a seasoned leader who has faced a variety of challenges over the years will have a deeper understanding of how to motivate a team, handle conflict, and make decisions that take into account the broader context of people's lives. This experiential wisdom allows them to act with greater compassion and insight than someone who relies solely on intellectual knowledge without the grounding of experience. Arrogance in intelligence also limits one's ability to learn from mistakes. Intelligence may provide the ability to analyze errors or flaws, but experience is what teaches us how to grow from them. Those who are overly confident in their intellect may be less likely to reflect on their past failures or learn from the consequences of their actions, as they may believe that their knowledge should have prevented those mistakes in the first place. Wisdom, however, embraces failure as an essential part of growth and learning. It recognizes that mistakes offer valuable lessons that cannot be understood through theory alone, but require personal engagement and introspection. In sum, while intelligence is a powerful tool for acquiring knowledge and solving problems, it is the combination of experience and intuition that provides the richness and depth needed for true wisdom. When intelligence is tempered with humility and an openness to the lessons of life, it becomes a far more effective tool for understanding and navigating the complexities of the world. Intellectual arrogance, on the other hand, blinds individuals to the value of these non-intellectual forms of knowing, limiting their ability to make wise decisions, connect with others, and grow in meaningful ways. The relationship between intelligence and wisdom is often misunderstood, as intelligence is frequently regarded as the key to success, while wisdom is seen as an abstract, secondary trait. However, true growth, success, and fulfillment come from the balance of these two qualities. Intelligence enables individuals to process and understand complex ideas, navigate challenges, and solve problems. Yet, it is wisdom that gives us the ability to apply this knowledge in a meaningful way, considering the broader, often unpredictable consequences of our actions. When intelligence is solely relied upon without the tempering influence of wisdom, it can lead to poor decisions, ethical missteps, and personal dissatisfaction. The practical application of intelligence without wisdom can result in decisions that are driven by short-term benefits, immediate gratification, or an individual's own ego without considering long-term consequences or the impact on others. For example, in the business world, an intelligent individual may identify an opportunity for profit through aggressive tactics, cutting corners, or ignoring ethical concerns. While their intellectual capabilities may allow them to succeed financially in the short term, the lack of wisdom in considering the wider repercussions can lead to damaged relationships, reputational harm, or even legal trouble. The intelligent person may achieve a specific goal, but may also create a series of negative outcomes that ultimately undermine their success and happiness. In contrast, wisdom encourages individuals to think beyond the immediate and consider the ripple effects of their actions. A wise person takes into account the long-term impact of their decisions, understanding that success is not just about achieving a goal, but about doing so in a way that aligns with their values, ethical principles, and the well-being of others. It's about having the foresight to realize that the decisions made today will shape the future, and that true success is measured by the broader, more meaningful outcomes such as trust, respect, and integrity that result from those decisions. Wisdom also brings an emotional and moral dimension to decision-making that intelligence alone lacks. While intelligence allows us to calculate risks, analyze data, and make reasoned decisions, it is wisdom that provides the moral compass to guide these decisions in the right direction. Intellectual knowledge can sometimes lead us to take actions that, while technically correct or efficient, may be morally questionable or hurtful to others. Wisdom, however, ensures that our choices are aligned with ethical values, considering not only what is legal or logical, but also what is right. For example, an intelligent person might find a loophole in a contract to exploit a situation for personal gain, but a wise person will consider the fairness of their actions and the potential harm that might come to others involved. Furthermore, intelligence, when left unchecked by wisdom, can lead to a sense of entitlement or superiority. Those who excel intellectually may begin to believe that their knowledge or abilities give them an inherent advantage over others. This intellectual arrogance can isolate individuals, cause them to dismiss valuable perspectives, and lead to a lack of empathy. Wisdom, on the other hand, fosters humility by recognizing that no one is immune to mistakes or limitations. A wise individual acknowledges that intelligence, while powerful, is not a guarantee of correctness or infallibility. They approach life with a sense of humility, always open to learning, acknowledging their own limitations, and respecting the experiences and insights of others. The combination of intelligence and wisdom is essential for personal growth and fulfillment. Intelligence alone might provide the tools to succeed in certain areas of life, but wisdom is what enables individuals to find balance, meaning, and peace. It helps people navigate the complexities of relationships, career choices, and personal challenges with integrity, kindness, and resilience. Wisdom allows individuals to make decisions that are not only intelligent, but also compassionate and considerate of others. It teaches the value of patience, self-reflection, and the importance of prioritizing long-term well-being over short-term satisfaction. In the pursuit of success or personal achievement, intelligence can provide the necessary skills and knowledge to reach a goal, but wisdom ensures that the journey toward that goal is enriching, meaningful, and ethical. True success is not just about what we accomplish, but how we accomplish it. The integration of wisdom with intelligence allows us to pursue our goals in a way that brings fulfillment, promotes growth, and creates positive change. Without wisdom, intelligence can become a tool for self-interest, while wisdom, when coupled with intelligence, can elevate us to higher levels of success that is not only intellectual, but also deeply connected to human values, relationships, and the broader impact on the world. In conclusion, the interplay between intelligence and wisdom is one of the most profound dynamics that shapes our personal growth, decision-making, and relationships. While intelligence equips us with the capacity to understand, analyze, and solve problems, it is wisdom that guides the application of that knowledge in a way that is ethical, compassionate, and long-sighted. Intelligence, when unchecked by wisdom, can lead to arrogance, poor decisions, and isolation. It may push individuals to value knowledge for its own sake, disregarding the emotional, moral, and human aspects of life. On the other hand, wisdom tempers intelligence, urging individuals to recognize their limitations, consider the broader consequences of their actions, and approach the world with humility and empathy. It is this balance between intelligence and wisdom that leads to true success not just in achieving personal goals, but in fostering meaningful relationships, making ethical decisions, and contributing positively to the world around us. By integrating both, we can navigate the complexities of life with clarity, integrity, and compassion, ensuring that our intelligence is not only a tool for personal advancement, but also a means to create lasting, positive change.